Good morning, Suzuki Science, grade 10s. So here we are at the end of the second week. I almost said first week, end of the second week. Last week was review for the most part. It's an interesting activity, a map that you could have worked on. I know not all of you had technology as of last week, and so it was really just getting us caught up and reminding us of what we've done before the break. This week was the first week of new learning. We did still do some review of mitosis, because mitosis and some of those initial cell activities we did before the break, but then we went into cancer, and cancer is kind of like the culmination of what happens when mitosis does not work correctly. So at the end of today, you guys should know much more about cancer and what causes cancer than you did when you started. Going through the course, if you click on classwork, under week 2, there's a number of things. One of them was a cell division mitosis, and that was a Learn 360 kind of activity that was just for review from before the break, and you were only encouraged to do it if you were completely had the time, or you didn't remember anything about mitosis, or you thought you did, you just want to review it. I see that 5 people turned it in, maybe more actually looked at it. Next we had cancer. And with the cancer, this was my actual video lesson. There was a short version and a long version. The short version was really kind of geared to kind of that 3-hour minimum. This is what you need to know. This is the bare bones of what you need to know. You might not have enough knowledge to be successful in grade 11, honestly, with this short version, but it will get you through the big concepts of grade 10. The long version gave you a bigger story about cancer and some of the history. It shows that you're interested in the learning, but it was your choice of which one you wanted to do. Then you would have opened up your cancer lab, and in here you had a number of things. There's the first page that held a lot of content, a lot of the learning piece, and then there was a couple of activities in there that you were able to work on. But depending on whether or not you did long version or short version, everybody was doing part 4. So today you are completing this Dear 14-Year-Old Me monologue. And if you do anything else in this document that shows your cancer knowledge, like the animations and these statements, these completed statements, the cancer lab, and if you do any of those things, then what you should be doing in here is turning it in. So that way I can see what you've completed, right? And I can see that 5 people turned it in, great. Whatever you've done, just turn it in. Even if you have done only 1 or 2 words, turn it in, because this is my attendance. This is how I determine that you're in the class. If you don't turn it in and you don't turn anything in, I assume you weren't here, right? Make a note in the system, let the grade 11 teachers know if you're taking science again, that you decided not to do the grade 10 work, and there's always consequences. So I'd rather you submit something so we know exactly that you're progressing in the course, and then everything should be fine. Anyway, today's product is Dear 14-Year-Old Me. You'll see this Flipgrid posting. I also did this Thursday, which was really just me talking, but then this Flipgrid was your link to where you're submitting your monologue. And if you, I think it's this one here. Yeah. So I see that 2 of you have already submitted it. And I mentioned that if you're not comfortable doing what I'm doing here, talking to the camera and having your words right here beside it, and maybe looking at the words and speaking and, having smiles or sadness or tears or whatever, then you could also point the camera at your monologue. At the minimum, point it at your words that you've written down, or an appropriate graphic or some sort, and then speak over it. Okay? And so I see that 2 of you have submitted already, which is great. By the end of this day, there should be 20 plus of these in here. And this is the product of the week. So each week you have something that you're submitting. Sometimes there'll be a quiz or some kind of exit. It so happens that today isn't one of those days. Today you're focusing on this particular assignment. All right. So that's it. And hopefully I'll be entertained by your monologues over the next few hours.